Hello, my name is Mackie. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the Leaguedashians. Unfortunately, I have to start this off with really terrible news. If you are watching this right now, it is February 17th, 2026 at 2:34 p.m. on this beautiful, glorious Tuesday morning. As you can see from outside, the sun is shining and I am looking beautiful and handsome. Fortunately for the NLC and cast in general, it's not looking handsome. So, in case many people do not know, I will spoil this entire thing, of course, for tomorrow. Tomorrow's episode will revolve in Lost of the Tournaments. And in case anybody don't know, Lost of the Tournaments used to be playing for the NLC, which is the most premium Tier 2 League of Legends, Tier 2 in Europe you can ever establish. That is now officially a Tier 3 team. And it still has the teams that qualifies, you still have the Rudy Esports team, which used to be Dom and Jake thing, now it's pretty much operational. Four Swines and a Bump, which is pretty much the Drew Tutu team, one of the co-streamers, of course. Paul Belter, Jack Sepker, and Forsen being involved in this team. Another content creating streamer team, of course, trying to elevate themselves, but even then, I just don't know think it's going to happen. And you got others. Now, you're thinking to yourself, like, what's the tragedy? It's none of the teams. It's not the standings, of course. Consider that did four Swines really is just going back. The real tragedy of all of this is the broadcast. And the fact that there was supposed to be a talent being involved, like the casting and all kind of stuff. Now, you normally, when it comes to League of Legends, all kind of stuff, you normally see, like, casters and talents and broadcasts being involved. And unfortunately, there is none. There is absolutely no broadcast. Aaron Chamberlain, or Medic, as people call him, who, by the way, casted in today's League of Legends, told us that the NLC got absolutely gutted. Like, literally gutted like a fish. Take it out of his bones, take it out of his gills, all this kind of stuff. And co-streaming, as I mentioned in my short yesterday, really is probably the driving force. It was not the only reason. Maybe it's budgetary cuts, maybe because, of course, we want to save money and all kind of stuff. But because of the entire chaotic nature of co-streaming being existing in League of Legends right now, it is pretty much putting the broadcast into a strain that I do not think they can handle. Now, I will be talking about this in full length pretty much around tonight or tomorrow, and pretty much be uploaded around Thursday or Friday. But the fact that co-streaming is now being the main thing on the League of Legends services, and not just the League of Legends services, it's in every single esports. Look at CSGO with a co-stream. Look at Rocket League. Look at Call of Duty, for God's sakes. And Mr. Shineock put his 2 cents in. Guilty himself, he's also a co-streamer, of course, who just got his feet set on co-streamer right now, and have to learn anything from, like, bots being taken over to the fact that the main broadcast is being absolutely annihilated, and I just do not want it. I do not want co-streaming to be, like, the main thing, to be the absolute only source for your stories and your analysts and all kinds of stuff. And while personalities and all kinds of stuff is great, I do not want this thing to be taken over. I just don't. I just don't want co-streaming to be like the main broadcast, to become the main broadcast. And I get it. We're in a time where esports doesn't have a media rights deal, or studios being, like, hoarded tens of millions of dollars of space just to, like, air it out and all kind of stuff. I understand we are facing an uphill battle of this. But if we see talent being gutted like this, and and maybe NLC is not going to be the only, competition that has no casting. It could happen in, like, another lower league, of course. It could happen in Challengers Korea. Like, Challengers Korea doesn't even have a casters, of course, English speaking, of course. It is rough. It is absolutely rough right now for these talented people. And on behalf of everybody else, I wanted to say that co-streamers need to speak out about this. speak out about the incredible drainage of talent within the space because without these casters, we will never know these players' skills. We will never know the incredible high moments we ever had. Just think about okay, I'm just going on a tangent here. I'm gonna give you an example based on all of this. Remember the Canadian play? Of course, everybody remember the Canadian play back in 2020 with Machine Castle. It was an incredible play, of course. Now take away Machine Castle and go to Costa. It is incredibly night and day that play will make. Or let's just say the Gumi Yushi Baron Steel. Take away the castings from all of that one, what do you get? You get a bunch of crazy overreactions and all kinds of stuff, and it just makes the broadcast feel a little bit shit. It makes the broadcast feel a little crap. Now, of course, I will, again, I kind of repeat myself. These will be fully linked in my discussions tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, of course. But I just wanted to know that this is an absolute travesty of sports, and I think the broadcast needs to be shown about, needs to be talked about, and needs to be paid more for God's sake. I mean, I understand we don't have the broadcasting, but can you just give these catchers a lot of money so they can just thrive and survive in this chaotic economic system? If the Saudis cannot provide them, who will? Who will? Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Let's just talk about all the League of Legends stuff from across the rift. And a little preview of what will happen in first day. Just recently concluded, we got the LEC Versus first round, and it is ugly. And I mean ugly in terms of scoreline, and ugly in terms of expectations. Now, let me just get to the story. G2 Esports just decided to become G2 Esports in playoffs. Like, you know, the meme of the guy just leaning back in the chair and just playing the controllers, of course, in the most serious moment. That's what G2 is. Regular season G2, it's just not it. Give G2 postseason play. And I'll tell you one thing. They are killers. The absolute brutality. Cass was named MVP. I mean, they didn't even show us the champions of the draft. That was how brutal it is. Vassieus are not even close. And speaking of Caps, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but my boy is balding. My boy is absolutely balding. Right now, I have little hair right now, and you know when you're close to 30, these things happen, and yikes, I'm feeling a little old right now. I'm devastated right now. Common Corp just beat Giant X. I mean, game 2 was an absolute fist fight, of course, but Common Corp just got that business, dominated on the macro. Both games were lasted about 30 minutes, of course. Both of them were like 30 minutes. Tellis was MVP. He was spectacular, especially in game 2. K4 going through. MCoy versus Team Vitality was the scrappy, chaotic matchup of the week, and it shows considering the first game lasted around 50 minutes. Now this was 31 minutes. But the first game was like a 50-minute bloodbath. It was both teams fighting off, hand stiff, be damn, no macro and all kinds of stuff, just fist fighting all the time. And then Movie Star survives, and then Super put up an incredible performance in game 2 to win MVP, and Movie Star Coin goes through. And finally, the big one. Navi destroying Fnatic. Now, let's just harken back in the time. If this was 2018, like say Fnatic 2018 faced up against the Navi of now, Fnatic 2018 in a different era or a different comp would have just beaten Navi heads and toes down. But this is not the case anymore. In fact, this is not the case for Fnatic anymore. Now, after this series, Raz mentioned about the lack of stats that being taking place. I would not go down to this interview, of course. But he just saying that this team is pretty much understaffed. And it just showcased the absolute travesty that Fnatic League of Legends have gone through for the last 8 years. Yes, this organization have not won a LEC title or an EU LCS title since 2018. Do you know how devastated that was, everybody? Donald Trump was in office in his middle of his first term. Shape of Water was the Oscars best picture. There was so many things happening in 2018 that my 28-year-old brain cannot comprehend. But that is how devastated this has been. And many people are calling this, oh my god, now we should beat Fnatic. It's the biggest shock of their lives. And I was like, wait, your league, when Nightmare initialized, said that this was a spell. A lot of people do not think that Fnatic can beat Na'Vi. Even Vladdy is saying right now that I don't think Fnatic deserves to be in the playoffs. And all the Lost for the Tournament fans across the globe are just saying we could have been in that playoffs. We could have been in that playoffs, you know. And while I say you are right, you are absolutely right. Fact of the matter is, go through just really, you know, elevate the volume of Lost for the Tournament not being in the playoffs. And maybe my shows and the viewership, of course. Let's be honest, I am not going to show you the viewership. I'll tell you one thing: the viewership is going to tank. Okay, you know what? Let's just, for God's sake, since we're here, maybe show the viewership. Maybe just show you how devastated the viewership is now that Lost Run Tournament is gone. I want to probably show you. Okay. We're probably going to show this, but for now, let's just talk about the LEC and Fnatic right now, because I'll tell you one, they're facing against Vitality, and I just do not think that Fnatic is going to do anything about Vitality. I mean, yeah, Vitality are playing a messy game. They're the Razor Cake team. They just don't have anything. But I'll tell you one thing. I do not think Vitality is going to lose to Fnatic. It's going to be a quick 2-0 and no one will win. And if that happens, it will add to the list of absolute failures by Fnatic in the last couple of years, which I'm going to show you right now. So, in case many people do not notice, this is the League of Legends team that was so good for so long in the back half, like 2016, the very first year of League of Legends, and 2016, 17, and then maybe 18 when they made it to the World Finals. They have not made it to the World Finals since 2018. Then you got the CSGO team that has not won a major since 2015 ESL won Cologne, which, by the way, in case many people know it, Cologne will have a major again, which pretty much what everybody wanted, except for the hooligans who are trying to ruin the whole event. That's my team. For Valorant, they have not won a major title since 2023 Masters Tokyo, and oh, by the way, they are not even in Masters Santiago after being knocked out by Team Liquid. Yes, that's a little Valorant reference. In Rainbow Six, they have no major wins since 2018, of course, since they came here. They used to be an Asian team, of course, now they become a European team, and even then, they cannot even do well. In fact, by the way, congratulations to FaZe Clan for winning Rainbow Six Invitational, the biggest event ever. Back-to-back champions, mind you, FaZe Clan. Also, congratulations to Vitality, back-to-back winners of IEM Winter, which is both Katowice and Krakow, a new event, of course. So I want to give a little congratulations. Then, of course, we got Rocket League with no major wins since 2017, and unfortunately, they did not even have a Rocket League team anymore since 2019. By the way, I'm recording this at the time. 2 more days until the Boston Major Rocket League. So if you're a Rocket League fan, if you want to watch it, it's in a pretty good time zone. So if you want to, you can just watch it. And then for Dota 2, no tier 1 wins since they joined the league in 2011. And there's that. So in case many people don't know, the last time Fnatic has ever achieved anything in all their games was in 2023. And there are plenty more games I will talk about, of course, but that will be like 20 minutes, bashing up Fnatic, of course, you know. That is not what I'm going to do. I've already talked about how really bad Fnatic is, like way back in like 2 years ago. So, look back, my intuition was right about them. And also, if you notice, I put in brackets all the best picture winners decided. So, 2018, the last time they won, that was Shape of Water. 2015, ESL won Cologne, that was Birdman. 2023, Masters of Tokyo, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. 2018, since their exception, Get Out. 2017, no major wins and then died 2019. 2017, Best Picture, Moonlight, La La Land. And then Green Book 2019, an absolute trash. Racist trash, of course. And then 2011, in the league, no tier 1, that was the King's Speech. Peek down in the comments below, who should win the Best Picture this year? Would it be Formula 1? Would it be Sinners? Would it be One Battle After Another? Or maybe anything else? Go down in the comments and find out. Because I'm a little bit of a movie person by myself. I watch a little bit of movies, I watch TV series, I watch a little bit of anime. So if you want come reference, go down in the comments. Enough of me. We're pretty much, talking League of Legends, of course, and LEC. And Giant X for the Team Heretics, I just don't have a good feeling about these two teams. I mean, this is a toss-up for me. I just don't know who is going to take this series. I consider the beating that these two teams have got. I don't know. I'm still taking Heretics, but I just have no feeling. And then, of course, we got the upper bracket. Common Core versus G2, Navi versus Movie Star. And I think these are two tasty battles. I believe Common Core is based in playoff G2. Now, playoff G2 is a little bit different than regular season G2, which I feel like G2 are still a decent team. But I say Common Core has been the best team in the LEC from like country miles from the start of the season. With Kalist, with Busio being the team, and I feel like the bot lane is going to absolutely destroy the G2 team. I feel like Kana is still one of the most dominant players in the top lane, going to make BB dominant. So you know what? I'm going to say Common Core getting 2-1 victory over G2. Why not? And then finally, but Navi Movie Star, I feel like this is a really close series. I think Navi has been playing great more than any. Movie Stars are going to give you like more team fighting, more fisting, and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. I'm going to go with Movie Stars 2. So that is going to be the LEC in a nutshell. And those matches will take place on the 20th and the 21st, and I believe the 22nd for the lower bracket matches. Yes. And then, of course, we'll get to the best of 5, which will begin on the 23rd. And I believe those games will be played in the stadium. I think the grand finals and the lower bracket finals will be played in the stadium. And I want to know what the viewership will be like. Let me just see if I can check the viewership for the LEC just a moment. And if you want more of this, please like, comment, subscribe for all of this so that we can keep the train rolling. And I mean, I'm almost close to like 55 subscribers, so it's a great achievement for me, guys. So let's look at the peak viewership. Oh my lord. It is still 591.69. And if you look at the numbers, oh boy. Ooh. Yeah, I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all. Yeah, I am not surprised, to be honest. And if we look at the match results from all of those, I don't think none of the matches have ever peaked, mind you. I don't think none of the matches have ever peaked. Now, let me just see. I wonder if they have a viewership for all these games. But I'll bet you one thing. They are not touching those numbers. I think it's going to be like 300,000 for the week. Let me just... Don't worry. We'll get to the LCS and all kinds of stuff. But I want to know how damaging the viewership is. How really damaging the viewership is. And Kameto is still dreaming, of course. No surprise. And... see. Okay, let's see. All right. There you go. I think this is the LEC Versus 2026. And if you look at, this is just a rough estimate, of course. And let's just see. Okay. I don't think I have the numbers here, but I just don't think, by the looks of all of this, they are not going to touch the Rise of Total. I mentioned about Rise of Total being that popular, and I don't think their numbers are there. I don't think they can even reach those numbers. I don't think none of the playoff matches ever reach those numbers, to be honest. That's just sad, but also the whole reality of what's going on with the League of Legends. I don't think franchise is going to kill them, but that's my 2 cents. So I can't find any data, of course, but I think you already know that number is not going to reach at all. So anyways, let's move on to the LCS. And we got some really, really shocking news. This portion of the LCS is rated 18+, because unfortunately adults have to see the absolute atrocities that Cloud9 did to FlyQuest. Like, listen, I was never expecting FlyQuest to do anything much in this series. But Christ almighty, look at the ass whooping. 29 minutes, I think around 25 minutes, and then another 25 minutes. Lava out destroying Griffin. I put Griffin on my fantasy team. And I'm feeling guilty right now, just saying like, yeah, you know what, Griffin, I don't think you're not as good as Blabber right now. He was absolutely on board with APA. Of course, that jungle mid synergy duo is probably the most dominant mid jungle synergy duo we have in the LCS by a mile. I don't think no other mid jungle synergy is ever going to do that. It was an absolute beating. It was an absolute beating. This was supposed to be the absolute close matchup, and I know FlyQuest are a young team. They're just not ready for being the high line, of course. But I would say that FlyQuest are going to get, give them a chance, of course, just to make them close, of course. Cloud9 just figure out, okay, we got bled first, of course, and we decided to not get bled again, and then absolutely fist them. Fist them throughout all three games. If you take away all the pauses, this game was less than 2 hours. This entire series was less than 2 hours. It was brutal. I mean, less than 2 hours. That's like a movie length, of course. It was a movie length beatdown by Cloud9. And I will say this right now. I just don't know if anybody can beat Cloud9 at this point. Not even Sentinels, who, yes, they managed to get a 3-2 win, of course, against the Skies. And it was a pretty much back and forth series, of course. And let me just say this for the Skies. For a team that has all the rookies, and I think we said about inexperience versus experience a lot of times. But for an inexperienced team to have flown close to the sun, or close to winning it. Guys, they won with Nessus, which, by the way, have not been a top lane staple since 2017 when something did. They won this game with Nessus top. And you think to yourself, oh my god, this guy might do it. This guy might actually do it. But unfortunately, when you're a young team who are close to doing something that you've never done in your entire lifetimes, you crumble. You absolutely crumble. And unfortunately, Hui was, by the way, the series MVP. They won game 4 with Hagar mid. Jesus. And then, of course, Way mid, of course, which is, by the way, amazing. And they beat them. They slowly, methodically beat them. There was mistakes. I mean, there were so many mistakes by this guy's coach to make me feel like have this team would have played a little bit cleaner, have the team would have been a little bit more controlled, I feel like they could have won this season. But unfortunately, they did not do it. And yeah, sad for them. But they'll have a chance. They'll have a chance to face off against Team Liquid. And then Lion would face off Blindness. Impact Inspire's old team versus the old organization, of course. And against Sentinels versus Cloud9. And I will tell you what, these series are absolutely beautiful. And, by the way, no longer the cost, ladies and gentlemen. All the matches from here on out will be played in the LCS arena. Yes. About damn time. And a little reminder note, programming note, they will kick off on Friday. Friday. Just a little reminder. I will say this right now. I just don't know if anybody can beat Cloud9. I just don't know if anybody good enough to beat Cloud9. Team Liquid, fine. I think if they can get their crap together and just beat this guys, crush down the rookie team, and then maybe beat Sentinels, I feel like they have a chance. But other than that, I feel like Cloud9 are just heads above all the other LCS teams. And we can worry about international, of course, whether Cloud9 dominate domestic leagues is going to hold well for international. Spoiler, it did not work that way. And I believe that when APA and Blabber are on, they're on. And you got the veteran of Sven and Vulcan, and even the top lane of let's just see. Who's the top lane? Thanatos. I think all 5 players, when they click, they are amazing. And a shout out to Nero and Dominate. I will dominate, man. I have to say, man, I will dominate knowledge of League of Legends for all these years of co-streaming and playing the game. It's just coming into fruition. And I'll say this one now. I know David Shinar does not like Cloud9 as much, but I'll tell you one thing. If Cloud9 were to win LCS, you better put on a Cloud9 shirt after they win. This will be sent to David Shinar and only David Shinar will. But I digress. Let's get to the LCK. So we're done with the LCS right now. I'm just going to say this right now. Cloud9 is going to pretty much win everything. Remember, I don't want to overreact, but say Sentinels is going to win the LCS. So now we got a little bit of a clash between my prediction and everybody's expectations. Should be a fun matchup on Sunday. So in case many people don't know, this is Friday. Yeah, this is Friday. Saturday, Sunday. Those are all best of fives, and those will all be the LCS. Now for the LCK Cup. Raise your hands here. Never expected FearX to even dominate team. Not me. Not even me. Genji took care of business against D+, and everybody was thinking, okay, T1 should take care of business against FearX, but FearX decided, no way, Jose, not on my watch, and absolutely beat T1. Now, there are many T1 fans, crazy T1 fans, to say this is a horrible T1 game. Faker looks absolutely crap and all that stuff. But I would say that I don't think T1 played a bad series. It was FearX with nothing to lose going out there and absolutely beat the crap out of T1 and neutralize things and neutralize Kyria and all that stuff. And it was an amazing performance. I mean, Diablo was amazing. Vikla, Vikla just absolutely tries it. I think Vikla was the one who initiated the Ash Seraphine, of course. And wait. No, I think he said about Rise Cannon, which Rise was pretty much a counter to Cannon in the top lane, and they did. It was, dare I say, a masterful performance by FearX to the surprise of like me. I am surprised about this. I did it at a short. I was never familiar with FearX's game. Not everybody else. And it puts a conversation of like, are FearX top bet or the third best team in the LCK? To which I said yes and no. Yes, based on the results, but no based on like overall. I'm still saying that team was gonna, beat down D+. They're gonna find a way to beat down FearX again if they lose to Gen G. But if FearX can beat T1, maybe it might be Gen G. I mean, Gen G have a tendency of losing to teams that no one was expecting them to even compete. 2 years ago, it was LEC Esports. Then, of course, last year it was KT Rose twice. And now they're facing up against a FearX team that everybody has Gen G winning this series. And I think for FearX, well, pun intended in the name, they have no fear right now. They literally have no fear in their arsenal. They are pretty much going in with house money. They are going in with a chance of actually, making the finals, which is something we never get to say about FearX in any of their history. I mean, the last time they came close to something big was in 2022 in the regionals when they were one game away from making it to Worlds, and we all know what that happened. So, this is an opportunity for FearX to shake up the foundation of the LCK even further by beating a really good Gen G team. Now, do I believe this is going to happen? Well, maybe not, but who knows? Who knows? So it's already a crazy thing, of course, in the LCK. So those are the matches. Super will take on DRX on the 19th, which is 2 days from now on Thursday. The Friday D+, the winner of that will take on the D+. The winner of that D+ series will take on T1 on the Sunday, because this game will be on the Saturday, and the winner of this will be in the finals that will take place in Hong Kong. And then Sunday will be that, and then all the finals matches will be taking place in Hong Kong. And then, of course, the winner of this match will go to first set in Sao Paulo, which is a huge deal. The top two teams from the LCK will go to Sao Paulo. And by the way, I forgot one mention about the LCS. Because the Sentinels and Cloud9 win, they get to go to the America's Cup. And the winner of this will go to first set, not the top two, the winner of this. So let me just do a little reminder. So right now, FearX just shook up all our predictions and expectations about the LCK right now. And it's going to make it a really exciting thing. It's going to make it a really exciting for all the fans of LCK who just sleep it and just saying, okay, Gen G and T1 finals, good night, and just like, whoa, okay. LCK is going to make it interesting. LCK right now is a little interesting. It might give us a predictable matchup right now, but it's going to be a little bit interesting. You have piqued my interest. I believe that is done with the LCK. Yes, we're done with the LCK. And for anybody who don't know, what's the LPL like game? The LPL is having a Chinese New Year, by the way. And I want to know what Chinese New Year symbol is this for this year. And also, I want to wish all my Chinese people a happy Chinese New Year to one and all. I hope your family is safe and healthy and all kind of stuff. And hopefully, it'll give you good gifts and good kindness, of course. Yeah, so today is officially Chinese New Year, the start of the Chinese New Year celebrations. And the zodiac for this is the year of the horse, the fire horse. And I think I could put that in a thumbnail, by the way. Fire horse as my thumbnail for this video. Not only wishing everybody a happy Chinese New Year, but also just feel like I'm just running out of Vandal, Ruterra places to go. So maybe I might put that in there. So let's just go to the LCP and CB low and then finish it off with the first and formats and what are my thoughts. So here we go with the LCP. And as we can see from the LCP, we got a upper bracket match. We got Team Secret Wells and Deep Crosby. I believe that Team Secret Wells are looking like the favorite to win this whole thing. I believe that Team Secret Wells are the favorites to win the whole thing. Softbags and Ground Zero face off in the lower bracket. The winner of this will face off against the loser of that. And the winner of this tournament will go to first stand. This matchup will take place on the 27th and the 26th, so they'll be next week, of course. I think because of Chinese New Year and all that stuff. So they'll take a little bit of a week off, of course, to sort out. So that means this will not be part of our review next week. Oh, and CB LOL, of course, without the CB LOL Cup. And let's just see. Are my favorite team back? Are everybody's favorite team back in the finals? Let's see. No. Furia just to beat Leviton, and then Leviton beat Key and Stars. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at Key and Stars. Key and Stars just went from world participants to losing to Leviton. I mean, if you want to know how really impactful Trimby is, this is pretty much what it looks like. Like, this is what it literally looks like. Anyways, Laws will take on Furia. That will take place on the 22nd. And then Law will take on Red Cannons on the 21st. Oh, a little change in there. And then the 23rd, we'll be taking, and then, next week will be the finals. Okay, so next week will be the finals. So the 21st will be the best of 5 matchup, and the 22nd will be another best of 5 matchup. And then the 28th and the 1st of March will be the grand finals, and the winner will go to first stand. Which, by the way, I will tell you about the first stand format, and this is what I love about this format. So, in case many people do not play StarCraft, or anybody watches StarCraft with Toasties, or State Toasties, of course. Hi, guys. First stand is a GSL kind of format. Now, in case many people do not know GSL, let me just give you a little small breakdown. We have 2 initial matchups between 4 teams, of course. 2 matches, and then the winners will play the winners, and the losers will play the losers. The winners matchup will determine the first team going through, and the losers matchup will determine the first team going out. If you lose from the losers matchup, you're out. If you win from the winners matchup, you're advanced. And then the losers from the winners matchup will face off against the losers matchup, and will advance to the final round. So that means only 2 teams will go through. It's basically simple elimination of a elimination. And all the matches will be best of 5. Or, best of 3. I think they use a TBA, but I think it'll be best of 3 for the group stage and then best of 5 for the whole entire matchup. If the winning region will get the second bye into the bracket stage for MSI 2026, which will be huge. It will be absolutely huge for their region. So this is the little bit of format, of course, talking about it. And I said this is kind of like a mini GSL. This is like a mini GSL tournament, which I love. It's that it's short, it's sweet, it brings, of course, it's a shorter tournament, of course, but it brings me the spice that we need. And also, it's best of 3s, best of 5, so it's like anything goes. And we have some narratives, of course, that will determine in this type of format. Now, LCK and LPL is going to destroy them because 2 teams from those regions will go through it and destroy all of them. Who knows? I mean, maybe we get an LCS team, or maybe Common Corp, who did well last season, could make it to the finals, of course. Who knows? But that is just the base of what's going on in first. As we go through, as we count it down to the rest of the entire, road to first stand, we'll get more of these. And that concludes League of Leaguedashians, everybody. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed a really good night. Stay safe, ball good, and continue to climb those rankings. My name is Mackie. I will see you all next.